This is part 7, adding some more AI, and I'm at the beginning of New Wadsworth. As you can see, there's the little coal guy with the brick factory down the road. And what I'm going to do is place a piece of AI to move a few cars out of New Wadsworth sash and door, come down onto its little lead track, and then reverse back out into the New Wadsworth siding, yard siding, whatever it is. It's only one track, but that's what we're going to do. So I'll get over here and start putting down my consist. Grab an engine, an NE, and at this point I can teach you how to do something a little different. Here we have an object set filter, and when you click it, you get a flyout over here on the right, and this is only showing you 4 little options for 3D trains. These are the developer excuse me, the developers of the products. And supposing you bought a piece of DLC, then the developer would be RSC, and then a big list would show up of all the DLC that you had. And the NERW used the SW1500, so you scroll in this list to find your SW1500 DLC add-on, and then in the column here that's white underneath of the scenario icon, you click it, and now the SW1500 pack, all the DLC plus the NERW repaints will be available over in the engines. Here's your paywares that came with the package, and then the NE if you have the NE installed. Where's it at? Okay, up here. And there's our NE and the element version. So we'll grab the switcher, and that's how you get your DLC in, by using the object browser or object set filter. This whole window is called a browser, so you're browsing your trains, you're browsing your rolling stock, you're browsing your consists. These are scenery items. We'll get into this one here, the track infrastructure, in just a moment. And this is your object set filter, which when you choose it over here, then it comes here. So this is setting it up. You don't want to have all of these checked at once, because then it's a lot of overhead on the loading of the scenario itself, because every file has to be checked before the scenario is loaded for errors and just existence. So only check what you need, and it's only good for this scenario. If you go and create a new scenario, and you want to use the SW1500 pack, you'll have to go and check it again each time. Okay, now he's facing the wrong way, and we're going to give him a couple of NER 65-foot thralls. Let's see, we'll take one with load 1 and one with load 2. And then we can throw in a crate flat car. or two. Then if we click our select consist, double click it, and we can put loads on everything, make it nice. Now this is all about a timing thing. So I'm going to take the engine and I'm going to push it back further to give us more distance, more driving time. And we have to give it a driver. And we'll give it a name. You could also make more than what I've been doing. You could also call this the local switcher, or whatever you wanted to. You have quite a few characters you could enter in, and we'll just go with standard freight. Now, according to my timetable during a test run, the player train is going to reach the beginning of New Wadsworth around 9/11. So we could start this up around 9/11. That'll be our starting time. And as I zoom back, I'll see our path is going to take us through here. And then we'll reverse, come out onto the siding. But the siding does not have a marker, and we have to place one. All there is down at the end is a little stub, in order so that you would know, let me just zoom down here, what the actual siding was. It's just a name marker. These are all over the NERW route, so the scenario creator has to put his own sidings down. This gives him flexibility and the length of it, and the possibility of adding more than one marker to an area to do different kind of blocking or cutting of loads. So what we need here, okay, make sure it is, he's an AI, and click to get rid of it. Then we're going to click the track infrastructure, which is this little cross arm signal, and we want a siding marker. And we'll place it down here, and you see it already has a name, and when you place one, it always has the parenthesis S in front of it. That designates that you actually placed it in a scenario. I'm assuming the S stands for scenario. This is not documented anywhere. When you click on it, the gizmo, this is a gizmo, it has two arms that you can drag, and you drag it out, and that's the siding itself in the yellow bar in the tracks. So we're going to make our AI train leave where it's at and then reverse and stop here, and that'll give it some life as we're passing through the area. Okay, so the siding marker is set up. Our train is over there, and we'll try to set up the path and see how it goes. Because it's doing a reversal, I'm not sure what the AI will do. So if we go to the timetable, okay, our switcher's already picked in the list, I guess because it's the lowest number. It's sorted alphabetically. Starting time is 9/11, and we want a final destination. Oops, we got a little spinner down here. That means Train Simulator is thinking. This could take up to a minute or so. Okay, it's done already. It's telling us there's an error and that our switcher doesn't have a destination set. Well, that's obvious. but it had to think. Sometimes the editor will do that to you, and you should wait until it's done spinning down here. Okay, so we're going to pick our final destination, and we made the S parenthesis siding 1, and it failed, gave us a new error. This pathing failed, no route to destination. Possible causes: incorrect electrification, incorrect directionality, turntable or traverser. Dispatcher cannot path across them. Okay, well, that doesn't mean anything. All we're doing, I close this, is taking our train and going through here and then backwards. But it's telling us it can't figure out how to get there. Since we got Train Simulator 2013, this bug has been around. Now it's possible that it is not a bug, but at this point, if you're new to writing a scenario, you can get really frustrated because you're getting an error and the path is not showing. So the thing to do is leave it alone, click OK, come out here into the world, save it, and then click the play button, exit all the way out once the scenario loads back up, and then reload it and come back into the editor. And hopefully, if I'm correct, everything will be fine when we come back. Okay, after saving, exiting, and reloading, we're back. And we go to our timetable. This is our switcher. Zoom to it. And the path is exactly what we want it to do. It's going to go up into the lead and then reverse back and stop onto the siding at the siding marker that we left or created. And the train should fit on it. Okay. You want to make sure that the length of the siding marker is the length of the train so that it all can get on it. And that's another AI added for us. On the next test run, when you're driving through New Wadsworth, you want to note the times and check and see that you are actually seeing the train moving, because that's what it's all about, is having moving eye candy and making you feel like you're not alone. And that takes care of that AI. Now we're going to come out here, and while I'm here, just going to come down and just add a couple cars here. At one point I was going to put the AI there, and I decided not to. So I'll put a couple containers. And we'll load these just to have some more eye candy in our scenario. And we can save it at this point. And that concludes this part, adding the third AI. And in the next part we'll add one more down in Element.